Whether we like it or not, AI is coming. In fact, it's already here. So if you haven't already started thinking about how you're going to integrate AI in your online business strategy or how to create a sustainable business model that is actually going to see the rise of AI through, this is an episode that you're going to need to watch because I have been thinking a lot about AI recently and it feels really important to be talking about this because I can see that a lot of online business owners out there are either ignoring it, overwhelmed by it, or not really considering what it means for their future. And right now, the talk about AI taking jobs is mainly focused around the corporate world. Today, on this episode of the Freedom Method podcast, I really want to start talking about what this means for online business owners and how can we, as female entrepreneurs, build and future-proof our online businesses in the rise of AI. This is not a conversation to be taken lightly. And I'm definitely not coming at this from a tech bro perspective because obviously that's not me. I would actually describe myself as quite technologically inept. But what I will tell you is that I am someone who is into AI. I have been using AI for about a year and a half now, and I have been observing it from the sidelines and more recently integrating it in a way that can actually future proof my business. Now, I listen to a lot of podcasts on this subject, and I'm also part of a big AI community here on Copenhagen, where I live. And what I will say to start off with is that AI isn't just a new technology. This is a whole movement. This is a movement that is going to shape our future in a big, big way. And one of the podcasts that I listened to recently compared AI to the invention of fire or cars, for example, which are two huge inventions that shaped our current world as it is today. And I also went to a panel talk recently where they spoke about AI as being a tsunami, something that literally wipes out the way that we are living today and creates us a new world or forces us to create a new world and way of working. So in this episode today, I'm going to give my own opinions on the rise of AI and how I think it will change the online business world and what I think you need to do as a female entrepreneur to get ready for this huge shift so that AI doesn't destroy everything you've worked so hard to build. Okay, before I go in, I'm going to give you a little bit more context about my own situation right now. So as I mentioned, I live here in Copenhagen in Thailand, and honestly, I am surrounded every single day with AI entrepreneurs, like really techie, codey entrepreneurs who are fully building in the AI space. And I'm going to be straight up with you. I am not an AI expert and I'm not going to sit here claiming that I am. And I'm definitely not an AI founder, but I'm also not a beginner anymore. Moved past just using prompts in ChatGPT. I'm now using Claude Cowork and code-based workflows to actually build things that support my life and business. And the more that I learn about AI, the more I get excited about it and concerned at the same time. But ultimately, the bottom line is the opportunities for us with AI are huge. And at the end of the day, we can't get away from this. So we can either resist and resist and resist and fight it, and to be honest, later down the line, fail really badly because there's no way to get away from this, or we can embrace it and find our own opportunities within this new AI world. In the online business world, it can actually really help make the back end operations of your business smoother. And you can build a team without the staff costs, which is such a big game changer for one-man band solopreneurs. We can start integrating systems that improve our customer experiences, and we can integrate workflows that save us so much time and energy. Now, some of the AI meetups that I've been to in the past couple of weeks have been led by real experts in this field and really share their expertise. And what I've realized from being in this environment is that anybody who adopts AI in their business are going to be the ones that win in business, particularly in the next 3 to 5 years, because that is where we are going to see the majority of the shift happening. I would say probably even earlier than that. But the people who ignore AI are really going to struggle in the next 3 to 5 years, in all honesty, because there is going to be massive, massive shifts in the business world, and people that don't keep up with this are going to fall short. And this isn't just like when we were in the pandemic where everything had to go from retail to e-commerce, as an example. That shift was reversible. This shift I don't really see being reversible. This is a shift that is going to stay for many, many years to come until we find the next thing. That is not me in any way saying you need to become an AI expert overnight, but as I said, big shifts are coming, particularly in the online business world, and we need to get ready for them or you're going to be left behind. Now, I'm going to say it as it is because I do believe that a lot of traditional office jobs are going to be massively reduced because of AI. And the ones that are going to be left, they are going to rely heavily on AI to function. Now, we're already seeing that wave of redundancies, especially within copywriting and UX UI jobs. Now, it's probably not just down to AI. There are also so many other things going on in the world right now that can impact that job market. And it's really easy for us to blame it on AI because that's the new thing. But the reality is there are so many moving parts, but it is a part of that. And I don't want to alarm you, but if you are building a business right now, you need to start thinking about building your business with the future of AI in mind. And we cannot be building businesses like it's 2020 anymore because it is not going to last the long haul, unfortunately. Look, none of us really know what the future looks like with AI, but there are some very clear patterns already emerging. And from everything that I've seen, I personally believe that there are 3 core routes that are going to be the most protected in the rise of AI when it comes to talking about online business. Now, the first one is properly integrating AI into your business. And I do not just mean asking ChatGPT to write your content or even asking it to act as your business coach and give you generic textbook business strategies. Because not only is that super surface level, it isn't going to work because it's going to give you generic advice, which in the long run of AI means you are going to blend in to a very big crowd at a time where you need to stand out. Now, when I'm talking about integrating AI into your business, what I actually mean is you starting to understand how it works and how it can support your business on a much deeper level. So things like automating workflows, improving your customer experience, speeding up your delivery, improving your back-end systems and building systems and agents to help you do tasks that would have taken you 10 times longer before. Because what is going to happen is this: a lot of businesses that are built with AI are going to become slow, expensive to run, and really outdated. And they are not going to be able to compete with the new businesses that present themselves. And on the flip side of that, a lot of SaaS businesses are going to get wiped out because AI can now do what those tools used to do. And we can build our own software, essentially. So if you're building a business right now, you need to be asking, how can AI make this better? How can AI make this process faster? And how can AI make this experience easier for my customer? And even how can I build something with AI? And you do not need to be an expert because I think that's what AI is really good at. You just have to learn. It is not something that anyone's an expert at because it's so new. Everybody is learning. And the sooner that you get on board with learning about it, the easier it is going to be for you to integrate it. You do need to be somewhat involved with AI to have success with online business in the next 3 to 5 years. Okay, now the second thing that I think is going to be really big in the rise of AI is community-focused businesses. And this is a really big one for me because I personally am a community builder. Because as AI rises, human connection becomes even more valuable. And I think we saw this again, going back to the COVID example, where we were all isolated in our homes throughout lockdowns. And then immediately, as soon as we were let out, we just wanted to do in-person things. Now, it's going to be very similar. The more that we are integrating into an AI world, which essentially is a very online focused world, right? At the moment, anyway, who knows where that goes in person in the future. But at the moment, this is all about online, being online and being able to build things online. People are going to get very tired of anything that feels inauthentic, anything that feels generic, anything that feels like it doesn't have that human connection. So things like generic content, automated responses, faceless businesses are going to really struggle because people are going to crave people. People are going to crave connection, real conversations, real spaces, and really wanting to engage with other human beings. And I've already started to see this because I built a community of over 400 people here in Copenhagen through building my co-working and connection events. And I've also started building that community online as well, because what I believe that community creates is something that AI cannot currently replace, and that is belonging, shared experiences, energy. And we need that as human beings, quite frankly. That is something that we actually need. And at the minute, an AI tool cannot replace that experience. So if you can build and factor that into your online business, you are going to create something incredibly, incredibly powerful. So that might look like, in the online business world, a membership, a group event, general events, or just a really strongly engaged audience that is built around your personal brand, that they feel really connected to you and understand and relate to you more than ever. And that is going to be so important in this rise of AI, because we're going to be spending so much more time building things online, and we're going to really need to have that human connection and regulation. Now, the third piece that I think is going to be really important in this rise of AI, and this is probably the most important, especially if you are an online business founder, a solopreneur, or want to become a solopreneur, you need to understand that you are the unique selling point of your business going forward. Everybody is going to have access right now to information in order to build a business. Everybody is going to have access to information to do their customer research. Now, anyone can build a business online using AI, but what is going to set your business apart is you, your personal brand, your story, your lived experiences. Because what AI is going to do is flood the market with generic businesses, because everyone's using the same prompts, the same offer structures, the same messaging, and everything is going to start looking the same. And when things look the same, you need to stand out. And the only way you're going to stand out is by being deeply, unapologetically you, and sharing your perspectives as a founder, your experiences, your ways of doing things. And that is something that cannot be replicated, particularly if your business is attached to you. If you're a service business provider, a freelancer, you create online digital products, your coaching, your mentoring, anything like that, your unique selling point is going to have to come from your life experiences. And this is where a lot of people that work online are going to get caught out, because they have been building businesses that are generic, blanket. I would say that I really don't fall into the category. I think I've really tried to build a business from my authentic personal point of view, my life experiences. You're no longer just going to get by based on what you know. You are going to get by based on what you've lived and experiences, because people don't need information anymore. They've already got it. So they are going to be buying into connection, relatability, expansion, and trust. And you cannot currently get that from AI. So personally, for me, if I was to look at my own online business right now, I'm going to be integrating all of those three things. I am already using AI to streamline my workflows, create myself systems, and build myself agents that can actually just work for me whilst I'm, I don't know, going out doing my groceries, going to the beach, going for my daily walk. I can leave my laptop running right now, and there's workflows going in the background, and I come back and the work is complete. I'm also building more of my community stuff. I have got my Freedom Seekers Circle, which is my online community right now. And I'm also building in-person communities here. And all of that is transferable in the future, because, as I said, community is going to be very, very important. And then for me also, I'm leaning very heavily into my personal brand and my lived experiences, because I know that's what sets me apart. I know that's why people come and work with me in my one-to-one coaching, because they see that I am authentic. They see that I've already done what they want to do. And I personally really believe that this combination of these three things is what is going to future-proof your business and allow you to keep it going for the long run. Now, everything that I teach is all about building long-lasting, sustainable businesses. So I am not giving you generic information. I am giving you information that is going to help you build a business that works for you, not one that you work for, that is going to see you through for years to come. So if you're listening to this and you're like, okay, this actually does make sense, I want to build something that feels aligned, future-proof, and not replaceable by AI, then this is exactly why I created my online program, the Freedom Model Method Foundations. It is a program for people who want to build freedom-first businesses, but do it in a way that actually works for their life. not by chasing trends, not just scraping the internet for information and not just copying what everyone else is doing, but by building something that is actually sustainable, aligned, and makes sense long term. AI use is included in every single module that I have created to help support you in building that business and start thinking about AI in new ways. So if that really resonates with you, you can join the Freedom Model Method Foundations program, and I'll leave the link in the show notes below. So one closing point before we wrap up. Please don't ignore this. Like I said at the beginning, it is a tsunami. It is a new invention. You can listen to so many podcasts based on this from some of the leading experts in business throughout the world. And one thing that's for sure is that we don't know what direction this is going to go in, right? Like, we've got no idea, but we can predict, we can see the trend so far. And I'm not saying you need to panic today. I'm not saying you need to literally burn your business down and start again. But I am saying you need to pay attention, because the way that we are building our business is going to be changing. And the people who adapt these changes really early on are the ones who are going to benefit the most. So if I can leave you with one little bit of closing advice today, explore, learn, educate yourself on AI. You don't even need to take action today, but just educate, start listening to more podcasts about it. There are so many amazing podcasts out there talking about this shift and how to navigate it. Get part of an AI WhatsApp group, get part of an AI Telegram group, a Facebook group. Start reading what people are talking about when it comes to AI. Sign up for bulletins about different releases of things that are happening in the AI world. I get my information from podcasts, and then I go to events in person here on the island that I live in, because I have easy access to that. And I also go to hackathons where we are literally just building AI tools and workflows while sitting together, so that I can learn from people that are already doing this. So if you've got a friend that's integrating AI into their business, ask them to sit down with you for an hour and set up whatever it is that they've set up in their business and teach you how to do that as well. Don't get left behind, because your online business is really going to struggle if you don't explore AI as something that can integrate in your business, or one of the other couple of things that I have mentioned earlier on around personal branding community. I hope I haven't scared you, because that was not my intention, but it is something that I want you to start considering, because it is a huge, huge change in the way that we are working. If you want to have a conversation with me about that and how that integrates in your business anytime, you can drop into my DMs over on LinkedIn. My username is Sophie Biggerstaff. If not, I will see you in the next episode. And please don't forget to like and subscribe this show if you enjoyed this conversation.